Hello and welcome to Here's to Your Health. I'm your host, Veggie Patty, and it's my pleasure to bring you information on healthy living. On today's episode, we're going to start a new show segment. It's called Healing Journeys. And on this segment, we're inviting people to come and share their stories about their healing journeys. So whether it's somebody who is living with an autoimmune condition or another type of disease and how they manage that illness, or whether it's somebody that's been dealing with something for a long period of time. I want to put a call out to the audience. If this is something that you have a story that you'd like to share, I'd like to invite you to contact me. You can go on my website and contact us there and let me know that you'd be interested in sharing your story. But for this very first segment, I'm very pleased to have a very good friend of ours, Jerry Jones.
Thank you.
So I want to thank you for coming on this episode.
It's my pleasure.
And Jerry has agreed to tell us his story, which is a very interesting story, and I think he's got a lot of great lessons in there for people, and I'm hoping that people will, find some information in there that reverberates with them and that helps them with their journeys as well. So,
Well, I again appreciate, Patty, the opportunity to be here tonight, because I think that people have an opportunity to hear someone else's testimony of how they went through an illness and health issues. If you can tell that to other people, it can encourage them. If I survived it, they can too. Mm-hmm. And my journey began as it relates to my finding out about 11 months ago that I was diagnosed with asthma and also emphysema. And to me that was a shock, because I had quit smoking for quite a few years and I couldn't figure out where the emphysema would come from, since I had not smoked for a long time. The asthma that I found out that I ended up having was from bronchitis into asthma, and genetically my family, there's a lot of asthma and diabetes in my family. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't surprised by the asthma, but I was surprised by the emphysema. But the doctors tried to find a way to treat me and to help me, and I tried the medicine. I'm not telling anyone not to go to a doctor or whatever, but what I'm saying is that I tried the medicine and it really didn't help me get through the issue of dealing with emphysema and asthma, with the abilities to breathe. And I found an article that you happen to have sent me over the internet, and what I found very interesting, the case study of this individual that had lost so much weight and could not sleep at night and had asthma, and how just one thing that her daughter was able to research over a period of time, she found that sugar was a big culprit. And to my surprise, I said, well, how can sugar do that? So I tried it. I said, well, I am not going to eat anything with sugar. I am going to stay away from sugar. And at the time that I got the article, I weighed 247 pounds. And I went on taking sugar out of my diet, not eating the breads that I was normally eating, and trust me, I love bread. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the culprits that was affecting my abilities to even get better. So 4 months later, to my surprise, I lost 33 pounds. Just cutting back, eating the right things, which was so key that I found out, because I loved all the wonderful fried foods. I loved the steaks and all the stuff that was not, that I thought was good for me, was not good for me. And then I started eating the right kinds of food, and I started feeling better, and that helped me on my journey to lose weight and to be able to deal with the asthma in a lot better way than trying to medicinally taking care of that.
Right, and I remember, 'cause like I said, we're friends with the Jerry family friends. I remember you had reached a point where you were having difficulty just walking, like walking up the stairs, even walking to the car. And I remember you saying, you were looking at all the side effects of some of these medications, and you're like, hey, I'm sick enough. I don't want all these side effects too.
That's correct.
And then we saw that, I know you had gone to the hospital because they didn't know, what was going on, and then you tried these changes, and they did start to have some good effects for you.
It had some great effects, and I am so happy that I was able to see a case study and see someone that went through what I was faced with. And people don't really know that someone else can tell you their story on how they were able to overcome an illness or whatever. It gives you hope that there is help out there, and you can do it without using some of the great side effects of some of the medicine that I was looking at. I said, I can't take this. The side effects tell me I could die. And if I'm doing something, eating something that is healthy for you, that tells me that I'm going to get better because the food that I'm eating is good for me, instead of eating the things that I had become accustomed to and love those things. But now I tend to shy away from them. And I've made a great decision, and it helped my health. And now I'm able to walk to the store, around in the store, without riding a little bike, tricycle, one of those little carts. Now I can walk through the store, even the big Myers I can walk through, and I feel good. I don't have any problems walking up the stairs.
Right.
So that's a plus.
Right, and people wouldn't know that you had asthma or emphysema,
No.
and not at all. And,
No.
and can I ask how? Can you tell everybody how old you are?
I'm 73.
Okay, and I wanted to bring that up because I want, some people think like I've reached an age and it's just, I give up, it's like there's nothing I can do to change my health, but that's complete opposite for you. Like you said you started this 11 months ago is when your journey started.
That's correct.
And how long had you been feeling badly?
I had been feeling badly for probably about a year, a little over a year, and couldn't figure out what was going on, and it just kept getting worse. And I know I would go to lunch with the guys, and they would go ahead of me, and I had to follow, tell them to, go ahead, I'll catch up with you, because I just didn't have enough in me to be able to keep up with them. And I mean, not even a fast gait. It was a slow gait that they were walking, and I couldn't keep up. So, as I said, to feel the way I feel now, and the way I did then, it's like a miracle. It's incredible.
Yeah, and I want people to realize that, age is really just a number. It's not just because you've reached a certain age doesn't mean you have to say, well, that's what my body's supposed to do. It's like I'm supposed to get slower. You knew that there was something wrong beyond that.
And I totally agree with that, Patty, because there's a saying that I learned early is listen to your body when it talks. And something wasn't right. My body was telling me, Jerry, something is not right. And that's when I started looking into it. And I went to the doctor and got diagnosed with what the problem was. And then I was able to, as I said, when you sent that article, it did me a lot better than what I was medicinally they were trying to force down my nostrils and everywhere else. But it really worked. Just to lose 33 pounds for me was incredible. And as I said, it was hard for me to take the weight off. But 33 pounds in about 4 months, my daughter couldn't believe it. Said, "You're going to fall off the wagon, Dad. You do it every time. You're going to fall off the wagon." And I did it for years. And they would say, we're not going to listen to you because you're going to go right back eating the way you always did, and you're not going to listen. And now I made believers out of them. They said, "Dad, we're so proud of you that you're eating all the right stuff. You're eating a lot of fruits. You're eating a lot of vegetables. And I've taken salt out of my diet. I don't have, I got out the sugar. And the sugar that I get, I can get it from my fruits." And as I said, I feel much better, and I can even go to sleep at night now, which is a plus. I couldn't sleep, could not sleep.
Now, what motivated, now, like you said, your family was saying, well, you've done things before, you've changed your diet to try to be healthy and lose weight, and you fell off the wagon before. What motivated you this time? Because I remember, like, after you started this diet, you were so proud of yourself, and I was proud of you. You'd come in and you'd say, "Guess what? I had the option of eating a donut, and I didn't do it."
That's right.
And you're like, "I walked away. I told them no." But what motivated you to keep, to leave those foods out of your diet?
Well, the more I read that article on how this lady was able to virtually bring her mom back from the doors of death to life again. All the doctors that treated her. And as I said, I'm not here against doctors. I think they have their place and they do everything they can to help their patients. But this lady could not get help from doctors. And the more I read that article, the more I saw that those things that she stayed away from brought her back from the brink of death to life again. And her mom regained her weight and she lived. And that's the key. And I just felt that I have a desire for life. I celebrate life. And even as old as I am, 73, I'm not ready to give up the good ship lollipop. I'm ready to really do the things to enjoy my grandkids, enjoy having a relationship with my wife, and being married for 49 years is a long time. And I enjoy that. I enjoy us being together to enjoy our grandkids. And so all of that gave me a double desire to try to look out, to take care of myself. And even Patty, my grandson, he's 9 years old as of yesterday, he called me and said, "Papa, are you eating the right stuff?" And I said, "Papa is eating the right stuff." And he said, good man, Papa, good man." So that was exciting for him to encourage me, to want me to know that he was concerned about me. And he wanted me to be around to watch him play his sports, and I want to be around to watch him play his sports.
Great. Yeah. Now, after you kind of got the emphysema and the asthma under control, you did have another health issue that came up, correct?
Yes. And to my surprise, that the issue that came up was the fact that I was celebrating with a family that I used to work for. There was the 50th anniversary of the Medical College of Ohio, University of Toledo, and I was invited to the celebration. And it was June 30th. I got out of the car, and everything was fine when I left home. Got out of the car to go into the restaurant and to the Radisson Hotel on the Medical College campus, and I got shortness of breath. And I took 3 steps, and I knew that this didn't feel like an asthma or anything else. Mm-hmm. It felt like it could have been a heart attack coming. And as I walked out of the car, I stood against the rail, and I held myself up, and I went and rested up a little bit, got inside of the hotel, sat on the couch for about 10 minutes and regained my composure, and said, well, I'm going to spend the dinner with my friends, celebrating the family that I used to work for, which began at 6 o'clock and it was going to end at 10. Well, I lost it from the standpoint that I should have listened to my body again when it talked. It was telling me, "Jerry, there is an emergency only 100 yards from here, and you should have gone there." Mm. And Patty, I didn't. So I said, well, I'm going to hold this one out. I hear what my body is saying, but I'm going to go in and enjoy with my friends. And I had dinner, and I got up at 10 o'clock, I'll never forget it, and got ready to leave, and it hit me again. And I could barely make it from the back of the hotel back out to my car. I got back into my car, threw myself in, really physically, threw myself into my car to be able to get into the car. And finally I was able to get enough to drive the car out and get back home. Well, there again, I was only 100 yards from the emergency room at the medical center. No, I chose to go home. So when I got home, it didn't get any better. And when I went to go up the stairs, it started all over again because we live on a two-story. I went upstairs, and finally I got in bed, and I couldn't sleep all night. And the next day my daughter called and said, "Dad, we're just checking on you. How you doing?" I said, "I'm not doing good." So she took me to the ER, which would have been the 1st of July, mm-hmm. and they checked my heart rate. It was 40. And I know the doctor had told me that the lungs and the heart are so closely related that because of my asthma and all the high blood pressure that I had, it had an effect on my heart. And so I ended up having to have an operation. They did a heart cath the next day they found out that I had a blockage, 90% blockage, and they also found out, and Patty, let me say this, the 90% blockage came from, excuse the expression, eating all that junk stuff that I ate over the years. It really created a problem health-wise for me because I didn't eat the right things, caused my cholesterol to go higher, and I didn't listen to the doctor and cut back some of those things because I could have naturally not gone on a Lipitor or one of the other drugs to be able to bring my cholesterol down. I could have naturally done it, and he allowed me to, but he said, okay, I won't put you on it, but you got to prove to me you're going to do it. I didn't do it. I ate more of that junk, so I created the problem. So then they found out that I needed a pacemaker to be able to raise my heart rate, to be able to do the heart cath. And that was on July 1st, and then on July the 18th, I had the stent put in. So after that, I'm up again, walking around and feeling good. Don't have any problems with the asthma. Asthma is good, so as I said, I'm feeling much better. But that's the issue that I had with my health. Went from asthma, emphysema to a heart condition. And as I said, I'm more driven now than ever before to not only check the asthma and the emphysema, but to make sure I do the right thing for this heart.
Right. Yeah, because that's something, it's like, you have here's one condition that you have, and you find a way to take care of it, and then all of a sudden you get another condition on top of it. And
That's
like
correct.
you said, is you have to think back to all the years that you didn't eat so well.
That's right.
And the effect that had on your body and your heart. And so hopefully the way you've been eating for the emphysema and the asthma has helped you extend
Yes,
that.
it has.
So.
Yes, it has. And at one point in my relationship, me and my wife, she was so upset with me. She said, "You won't listen to the doctor. You won't listen to me." She said, "Just go ahead. Kill your fool self, and I'll get the insurance." So I said, "Wait a minute. Are you sure about that?" But she was very serious. Not about the insurance, but she was very serious about me eating the right things. And I just felt that, hey, it's not going to bother me. My dad, he lived to be old, and stuff didn't bother him. So about my dad did it, and I can do it too. Well, it doesn't work that way. Each body chemically is different, even though we're genetically connected. But I found out that he was able to, and I was not. So I suffered the consequences, and that's why I'm very careful now about what I eat, and when I eat the right stuff, I'm going to feel better.
Right. And now you're making, like before, if you were at work or something and there was donuts or cookies, you would eat those, and now you choose to eat fruit instead of those things. And I know you told me that now you open your fridge and there's a bunch of vegetables, which you never had that before.
No.
Unless they were breaded in the freezer. Right?
There you go. But the exciting part about it is that I can go and I can have the grapes, the bananas, I can have the cherries, and I can have the plums and the blueberries. I eat a lot of blueberries, and I eat that in lieu of candy. I don't touch candy. I haven't had a candy bar in probably over 9 months, and I used to love candy bar. One of the Reese's Nutrageous. I tell you, I just clawed into those just like nothing, and I haven't eaten those in a long time, and I don't have any problems eating the candy. I've even come into the office up in Monroe, and they would have donuts out, and I'd walk right past the donut, and there was a banana that was sitting on the table. I'd grab the banana instead of the donut, and I was a frequent customer of Tim Hortons and those people. And Tim Hortons haven't seen me in so long. They haven't gotten my money in a long time. So that's a plus. I've saved money even on that.
Yeah, and that's great. So now I know that you said you were very inspired by reading somebody else's story.
Yes.
And so that's why I'm glad that you're here sharing your story. What message do you want to get out to people no matter what health condition they have?
I would like to say that, and if I could speak to the public, I would like to say to the public that one of the things you want to do, and you don't want to come the road that I went down, is that make sure you eat the right things in your life. Just because it tastes good, it doesn't mean that it's good for you. I feel that because I changed the way that I was eating, it made me feel better. And I would say to you, again, even if you're younger, make sure you eat right. And especially when you get older, you'll find that it's even more impacting on your body when you eat the wrong things. So I want to encourage you, the public out there, to make sure that you do the things that are going to give you healthy living. And you can live healthy because there are things there that is there for you, and all you got to do is buy that instead of buying the other stuff that's not good for you. Great.
And I appreciate that message that you send out to people, and it's great that you're here and letting people know it's not too late to change your health.
No.
It's actually easier than you think, and you just have to figure out what's going to work for you, and figure out what your body wants, and listen to your body too. I know that's another thing.
Yeah, and you got to listen to the body when it talks. And as I said, even as old as I am, 73 years old, I feel that more than ever, I want to do the right thing for my health. Mm-hmm. It's more important to me now than even when I thought of when I was much younger. It's very important to me to make sure I do that.
And I think that what you said too is people don't realize this, but you said you were a candy bar junkie and you craved candy, and now you eat fruit instead of the candy. And have your taste buds changed that now you just enjoy the fruit, whereas before you would prefer the candy?
I would prefer the candy by far. Mm-hmm. Fruit, I'd pass fruit up and say, hey, bye, won't see you later.
Right.
But the fact now is that I love fruit. It is. I've acquired a taste for it, and I've not acquired a taste for the candy, and all the other stuff that's not good for you, the cakes. Excuse me. But I've acquired the taste for fruits, and just like last night when I got ready to go to bed, the first thing before I went to bed, I grabbed myself a little thing of grapes that I was able to eat, and that killed any taste for anything that was sweet, because now I've conditioned myself to eating the fruits. And I love going to the fruit market and find all the good stuff that I can get that is on sale, but 2 for 1 I was able to get. And we have a market in Toledo called Monet's, and they have great fruit, and I can get the kiwis and all that stuff, which is just wonderful.
Great.
And so it's a plus. It's a plus.
And that's great. And that's something else I want people to realize too, is that once you stop eating those foods and you substitute it with something else that's healthier for you, your body will change, your taste buds will change, and so those cravings will go away.
Yes, it will.
And then you condition yourself, like you said, to eat healthier and to eat.
And Patty, I've had friends to tell me, go ahead, eat it once. Having one little taste won't hurt you. Well, it will, because there again, it's almost like an alcoholic. You're falling off the wagon. You go and try it again. No, I don't want it, and you can tell me it's not going to hurt me. I made a decision in my own mind. I don't want it, and I appreciate you saying that, but no, it's not good for me. And I made the decision that I'm going to do the right thing for myself.
Well, I'm glad that you made that decision, because I'm glad you're still here. So
I am too.
So and you'll be here for a long time.
Well, thank you. I'll take that and run with it. That's exciting. I'll take that and run with it.
So I want to thank you so much for being on the show today, and for sharing your story, and for being the first guest on this segment of Healing Journeys. I knew you had a very inspiring story to share, and that's why I wanted you to be on.
And Patty, I thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be able to let people know that if I can do it, they can do it.
Great. So again, I'm looking for people who want to share their stories on the segment of Healing Journeys. If you're interested, you can contact me at my website, and let me know how to get in touch with you, and we'll see if you can be on an upcoming episode. Remember that no matter the cards you were dealt or your current state of health, you have the power to take charge of your health, so never give up and never stop learning. The solution you seek may be just around the corner. Jerry, I'd like to ask you to join me in a toast to the viewers.
I will be excited to do so.
So we wish you a wonderful today and an even better tomorrow. Here's to your health.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.